Everyone stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live or post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord, our free options trading book group on Facebook, and our Patreon. If you're here right now, say what up, what's going on, how we doing? Daniel, first one to comment, tactical, second one to comment. Glad you guys enjoyed the podcast. Yeah, I did have a new episode of the podcast come out this morning on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also Google Play. So, DD1, nice to see you back here. How we doing? Hope everyone had a good Thursday. Another flat day in the market. I mean, it was red, but I mean these red days are getting kind of, they're not real red days. We had 3 red days in a row, but I felt like we didn't move anywhere. I mean, SPY was down 50 cents, and most of that was due to the close. Gotta talk to you in the Discord. I'm everywhere. I'm in the Discord. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. Keith's in the truck. Keith was actually the first one to comment, not Daniel. Mr. Comment up there. Julio, I put on Facebook on Tuesday. Yeah, for me, kind of getting into it here. Let's show you what I got here. For me today, I was kind of flat today. Honestly, had some ups and downs. Kind of what my portfolio looks like right now. Didn't have a lot of action. I did buy some Intel INTC puts at open. I don't know why I did right at open. I should have just kind of chilled at open because INTC went a little bit higher. So, kind of looking at it, my biggest loser today was INTC, and I put that on at open. Other than that, everything else was pretty flat. Didn't really do anything. Got some money back on Boeing. Got some money back on Apple today. Didn't close it out. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. But Intel, I shorted this morning. Hit a low pre-market. After hours was like 56.76. I bought in the first 15 minutes here when it was spiking up. I thought it was going to come back down. Obviously, it came up here and just stuck. It just stuck up here at 58.20 area. But what I'm looking at is a little bit of retracement to like 56, 55 area. Got paid Nvidia, double top. Yeah, Ariana, saw that. Good work. Congrats, 450 on the week. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Let's see what's going on. If you're here right now, say what up. Magneto. BA kept dropping. I wouldn't say on Boeing I would nailed because Boeing Boeing, let's go back to Boeing here. When did I put this trade on? Okay, so I put this trade on November 18th. We are now going on day 3, and honestly, on Boeing, the reason I didn't close it. Now, Boeing, I should have closed when I had two opportunities to close it. 2 days ago when it dropped down to 362. Yesterday when it dropped down to 366, and now obviously I could have closed it today. I mean, I have some time on it, so I was actually gone from like noon central till after market close. I just got back to my desk right now. So nice. Tobin got paid. DD1 got paid. Yeah, Netflix was up pretty big today. So Boeing, yes, it's going my direction. I don't feel bad about holding it, but I definitely could have exited this position 2 or 3 times and I could have reloaded the position. So I sold it, reloaded, sold it, reloaded. Would have made more money instead of just holding on to it. But probably the best thing that I did today was on Tesla. So I actually had let's see here, clean this up here on Tesla. So I had a debit call spread for December 6th on Tesla. Bought it yesterday for $1.12, sold for $1.20. You're like, yeah, you didn't make any money. But I was a little bit worried. On Tesla here, and I'm glad that I closed it because it did spike up. I sold it in the first 15 minutes of the day on the spike. We made $8, lowered my risk, and it pretty much just chilled sideways all day long, and then we had a selling off in the afternoon. But I did put on an iron condor for tomorrow expiration. We're going to be using this event. So Tesla has their truck event tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, where they're going to be revealing their electric pickup truck that's supposedly going to be under $50,000. So if that happens, it's going to be interesting. So I did put on an iron condor. So if you look at my position right now, it looks like this. So I am short the 347.50 put. I'm long the 345 put, and I'm short the 370 call, and I bought the 372.50 call. And at one point today on Tesla, this position was up like 10%. It was up a little bit. Now it closed down $3 on that position going into close because we had this drop. When Tesla was in the 360 area is when I was making the most money, but these puts got inflated when it dropped there. So now you can see that the puts are within the expected range. This orange bar shows what the expected range is here, saying it's plus $10.26. This orange bar indicates that the puts are in the expected range and the calls are not. So looking for this to kind of chill in the 350 to 360 area, and I'm going to be using theta for tomorrow to make a profit on this trade. So max profit on this is going to be $96. I went in small. I only did one contract, so. Pull back on AMD. I mean, AMD did get downgraded today. So, I mean, I think in general most things are due for a pullback. And then we were also fighting all that China news. So there was yesterday, if you remember, it came out that like it's not looking like we're going to make a deal before 2020. And then this morning it came out saying China invited the U.S. to further the trade talks, so the market went up pre-market. If you guys were watching, I mean, things are pretty wild. I mean, we were down. Let me show you here. We were down last night, and then we went up pre-market, and then we dropped right away. And we dropped because China said, "Hey, actually, that we didn't say that. We didn't say that at all." So. I mean, we know there's no deal, guys, right? Daniel, like the iron condor, nice. Theta gang, Theta Thursday. We here for Theta Thursday. So I'm gonna be Theta Thursday and up iron condor on Tesla. One in small. But right now, looking at it, Apple, I was down a little bit yesterday. I came back a little bit, only down 10% on that position. To kind of recap this, I have the 260 put and the 270 call. This was a strangle, so I want it to go down. My target was like the 256, 257 area, but it's been Apple's been putting up a fight. But I think we're gonna get our way here soon on Apple. I mean, starting to make lower highs here. If we can come down to 255, 256 area, I mean, I think it's going to go lower. I mean, I think it's going to consolidate at like 250 or 240 before pushing back higher. I mean, there's got to be some sort of pullback here eventually. But timing pullback is, as you guys know, probably near impossible when you're trying to time the pullback. Nvidia, so Nvidia, I did do a play on Nvidia today, and I'm going to admit I did YOLO it. I am going to be reckless with $87. So I normally, for you guys that watch the stream, I normally don't do trades like this, but at 9:25 a.m. I bought Nvidia 207.50 put for 87 cents on Nvidia. And what I've been looking at here on Nvidia is it keeps getting rejected around the 212, 213 area. That position was up when it was coming down to like 209. It was up around 20%. Probably should have closed it out, but I was gone and I just said F it, and we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in tomorrow naked with a 207.50 put. So came down to 209, closed at 210 at close. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, I am bearish on it, but normally I don't go into expiration Friday holding a naked option like that far out of the money. So I definitely don't recommend it. It's definitely reckless. I'm curious if Data Gang talking about Wall Street bets due was that this week's expiration. Yeah, so that I was actually looking at that. What was it? Let's see here. What was that? So I was actually looking at that, Ariana. I can't find the link now. So I was looking at that guy's position. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. But yeah, he did have some for March 2020, but the majority of his expirations were tomorrow. So he had like the 350, 360 call, 370 calls, 365 calls, 355 calls, and most of them were expiring tomorrow. Janet Yellen says there is a good reason to worry about the U.S. economy sliding into recession. Breaking news from CNBC. I thought Janet was retired. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Here's the real deal. Going all in. Now, this is highly not recommended. Going all in using debt on the Tesla Cybertruck unveil tomorrow. Maxed out 2 credit cards. And I like for this one, he took a home equity line of credit. That's what that means if you guys don't know what that means. Home equity line of credit. So he has a home equity loan on top of maxing out 2 credit cards, and he put in, let's say it's about 100,000. So he's down. He was down. Let's do the math on this thing. So he has 365 calls expiring tomorrow, 360 calls expiring tomorrow, 370 calls expiring tomorrow, 365 calls expiring next week, the 29th, and then 370 calls expiring March of 2020. I mean, I think the 370 calls might be safe, probably the safest bet. I mean, he does have 13 of them, so I mean, hopefully he can recover his losses for tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be up. I mean, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good right now. I mean, it couldn't even break 360 today. Maybe he got rid of. I don't know if there's been any updates on this. I don't know, but it's not looking good. I mean, the 365. So when you put that on a 365 call on Tesla for this week, well, it was still holding up at close, 210, 227. That's not bad. The 360 call it was saying at 323, it's at 360. You know, maybe he might make it. Maybe he might make it. he might make it, but it's looking rough. What do you guys think? You think he's gonna make it or not? It's a big gamble. I mean, I don't know why you would max out all your credit cards and put a home equity line of credit on, but hey. And I think that if you were gonna do something like that, you wouldn't do it for like a product unveiling. You would want to do it for like earnings. Earnings, there's a high probability the stock is gonna move, right? But for King Jacob, yeah, it's gonna be tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. But for what was I gonna say? But for a product unveiling, like let's say a lot of people trade Apple saying, oh, a new iPhone's going to come out and stuff like that. Sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of flaky. You know, people try to trade the Marvel films, Endgame, stuff like that. It doesn't move on. Like Disney didn't move when they were releasing Endgame. It's probably not gonna move when they're going to release Frozen, stuff like that. And I don't like to trade like aggressively like product launches. Product launches are usually a sell the news event. I agree with you. Anachronism. Do you make more money trading or from YouTube? Definitely from trading. YouTube. Honestly, the live streams, I make hardly any money from the live streams. They're not very. You know, doing the live streams are more for me connecting with you guys and talking with you guys. The live streams don't really make a whole lot of money. Definitely not. I'm definitely not doing the live streams to get rich. You know, if I wanted to get rich off of YouTube, I would be making a whole lot of different type of content. I mean, I maybe make like $1 to $2 per live stream. Sometimes people donate in the chat, which is appreciated, but really, realistically, we're making $1 to $2 per live stream. So, you know, you're not going to be getting rich off of YouTube by live streaming. Now, you could get rich off of YouTube making other types of videos, which we can do, but you know, I find I find that me doing the live streams, I like to connect with you guys. I like to connect with traders with the same mentality. I like to talk about the market, because also talking about the market out loud also helps me in my thought process as well. Looking at stocks also helps. And also, you guys sometimes bring up different stocks that I may not be looking at, or different angles, which, you know, make me think about differently about my position, or think differently about the market. I like to get feedback, so it's kind of like a crowdsourcing, and you know, it feels good. But yeah, if you want to get rich on YouTube, don't live stream. So just to let you know. So right now on my positions, I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I'm in Square. I have the 65 put and the 68 call. They did decide the day to take premium out of Square, even though Square did push up to 67.42. Really need this to break 68 here. I do think now that we're moving, you know, now that we're moving here, I do think it's on the verge of breaking. We're just got to be patient. Like it's been pushing. It just needs a break above 68 here, and it's gonna push 70. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. I always thought the things you offer for free, such as Discord and live stream, is what other stock gurus charge for. Yeah, I mean, I could easily charge for Discord, and you know, that's kind of the thing, is like, I think a lot of the guru mentality and what they charge for chat rooms, they charge for stock alerts, and they charge for all this, and all that really is a funnel for them to make more money. They don't really care about the profitability of their community. They don't really care about that. Like, they don't care if you make money, if they lose money, versus what I'm trying to do here is build a community of self-sufficient traders. So it does matter to me when you make money, it does matter to me when you lose money, you know, and I want to build a community of self-sufficient traders, because if one day, let's say for one day, that guru gets hit by a bus, he can no longer do what he's doing. You know, and you relied on that guru for the stock alerts and all this, and now you're panicking because you don't know how to trade yourself. Like, I'm not trying to spoon feed anybody, just trying to give, you know, my insight that hopefully helps you out in the long run. I mean, I will say that I am making my own training course. I am working on that right now, but what I want to do is basically train up traders so that way you don't need me anymore. Essentially. Andres, what's going on? I will say for the Discord, I did add the upgrades and downgrades channel today, and I do have a bot. So tomorrow morning there should be upgrades and downgrades in the Discord. So just so you guys know. So what I'm trying to do here, instead of you paying for all these newsletters and having all this information and actually going to all these websites, I'm focusing on getting all this information coming to us automatically. So that's what I'm focusing on right now with the Discord, with these bots. Like with earnings here, I'm focusing on all this information coming to us. I filter all this information. The stock market news obviously has like the top news. So what I'm trying to do with the upgrades and downgrades and all this information is to help us as a community trade better and not spend so much time researching and looking through crap. So that's what I'm doing. I could charge for the Discord, but why? I find that it's better to have a strong community and then to make money off of every single person that wants access to what we do here, you know? Yo, if you're here right now, say what up. J-Rob, what's going on? You want to buy a shirt? Yeah, we got merch coming too. So, we're trying to monetize the time that it takes us to do all this, but at the same time, we don't want to like nickel and dime each person, you know? DD1, yeah, I did look at Apple. I do have an Apple strangle on. I'm hoping that we can kind of come down to the 255, 256 range, and then we have a hard break to 250, 240. What I want. That's what I want. If it's going to happen, I don't know. Tim Apple is pretty strong with Trump right now, breaking ground in Texas. How do I feel about Splunk after hours? What's their ticker? SPLK. Oh, just their earnings. Yeah, I think they beat earnings here. I think I saw something in Discord about that. Let me get that. So let's see. What does it say here? Earnings. Was it Splunk? Yeah, Splunk stock rises. So we had it right here in the Discord. Splunk rises more than 6% after earnings beat. So let's see. Let's see what they say here. Anyone trade Splunk? Got paid. Nice. Yakuza. Interesting name. Splunk stock rose more than 6% in the extended session Thursday after software company topped Wall Street expectations for earnings. I wish Market Watch made it more enjoyable to read than like CNBC breaks it up pretty nicely. This is just like one big paragraph, and I have to try to find the numbers here. Software company reported fiscal third quarter net loss of 57.6 versus 55.7 million. So what was the guidance? With the shift to a renewable model, largely complete momentum in our term license and cloud offerings drove 53% growth in total annual recurring revenue during the fourth quarter. Splunk said it predicts, here we go, Splunk predicts fourth quarter revenue of $780 million, which is up. Stock has gained 21% this year. So, raised guidance, things are looking pretty good. So now they're at 133. So they're going to be, let's say they open here, which would be good, opening above this high in here, push to 140. Now they really need to break, like as you can see here, they need to really break the 140 area, because every time it comes up in here, it just gets smacked down hard. I mean this one was earnings here when it ran up. This one was earnings induced, but the rest of the time, this got smacked down. This got smacked down. Got smacked down here back in July as well. So you could sell some merchandise. Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it, Daniel. We do have merch ready. Just, I guess for me, the biggest issue with all of this and releasing stuff. I mean, I just did the podcast, and I'm finding how to live with imperfections, right? And you think that before you launch something, things have to be perfect and things have to be a certain way. In reality, you just have to launch things and hope for the best. Like the podcast is nowhere near the quality that I envision. Can it get to where I want it to go? Sure. But the podcast, what we launched a couple weeks ago, is nowhere near the quality of what I envisioned. But we did it. People like it. It's good. It's kind of like Disney Plus. Disney Plus launched. Anything big launches. Call of Duty launched. That kind of thing. They all launched imperfect products that made them better afterwards. And I just have to get. I have to get better at that. Honestly, I try to make everything so perfect, and then it pushes out things too far. So I need to get better at just going with the flow, launch it, deal with the fallout, fix whatever you can fix, and hope for the best. I've been trying in the money spreads, and I like it because you collect more profit with less collateral. Yeah, I mean the thing is you're doing like a 1-for-1. I know Daniel was doing it. I mean I've done it for a while. So like what he's talking about is if you're gonna do a spread, let's just take on Apple. If you're gonna do a spread, you can do like a 1-for-1. We'll do next week expiration. Let's say I wanted to sell a put spread. Basically, it's a little bit like of a 1-for-1. A dollar max profit, $147 loss, and if you can kind of see how that works out. This is another 1-for-1, 238 for 262 max loss. So, it definitely, I mean, it does work, but you have to make sure you get the direction right and the timing right. Because the one thing that you don't want to have happen is, you do something like this, like let's say for tomorrow expiration, let's say you did something like this for tomorrow expiration, or you did something like 265 and you sold at 260, right? Let's say you did something like this, max profits 250, max losses 250. We have a $5 wide spread here. You think, oh, risk is very low, 1-to-1. I can make 250, lose 250, risk is low, expires tomorrow. What you need to be worried about, though, is this getting assigned, this short leg getting assigned, and then your long leg out of the money. You can't exercise it if it's out of the money, so you're going to be in trouble. So just be aware of that. Can you research options after hours on Tesla? Yep. Yeah, you sure can. How about that Tesla? Yeah, I mean Tesla, the truck unveiling. I mean, I think today Tesla disappointed a lot of people because people put too much hype into the stock. I mean, they thought this was going to blow the lid. They thought people thought Tesla is probably going to be like 380 before the product launch, and it just laid flat. I mean, it's been flat for a few days. I mean, yeah, we ran to 360 a couple times the last couple days. But, I mean, it's come back to 350 area every single time over the last week here. If you're looking here, it went from 342. So it likes that 350. Below 350, it goes back up to 350. Above 350, it goes back up down to 350. So how are the fills and execution speed with Tastyworks? I mean, I like it. I mean, compared to Thinkorswim, it's right on points. It's compared to Robinhood, you'll notice a big difference. Fills are good. I mean, especially like if you look at one of my fills today, I actually put it in Nvidia. I put a price in at 91 cents. I got filled at 87 cents. So, pricing action like that, they tell you they're not skimming off the top, kind of like how Robinhood does. If you put a price in for 91 cents, Robinhood's going to give it for 91 cents, even though they could have filled it for 87 cents, But To each their own. Yeah, they were already pricing it in for a couple weeks. I mean, I'm good with it staying flat. Like I said, I sold an iron condor in Tesla for the event, hoping to kill premium. So far, it's been okay. So, just want to make sure. I have a couple questions. And notice when you sell credit spreads, King Jacob. This is King Jacob. I noticed that when you sell credit spreads, for example, go in the money, and notice because your goal isn't for it to expire out of the money, but to move enough and collect profit. I mean, it depends what your goal is. I mean, essentially, your goal is when you're shorting options for that option contract to go to zero. So let's say you shorted that contract when it cost $1. You want to buy it back for as little. You want to buy it back for a penny. You want to buy it back for 5 cents. You want to collect as much of that premium as you can, and to do that, you want a couple things: theta to eat away with it, or implied volatility go down. That's why earnings plays, like a lot of people do. You've seen me doing it over the last couple of weeks. Iron condors on earnings, because let's say the stock doesn't move that much, implied volatility gets it taken a hit. Even if theta doesn't really get hit, implied volatility will get taken hit, and the option contracts will drop in half or more, depending on how much the stock moved or didn't move. So there's a lot of different ways. Like tomorrow, the reason why I put on an iron condor is on Tesla is because the expected move was, I felt pretty high. I was at like $11, $12 when I put that trade on. And I thought the expectations, and tomorrow is expiration Friday. So if you put on a trade, like let's say you short options on Thursday that go into Friday, theta is super, super aggressive going into expiration Friday. So if my options are out of the money tomorrow, high probability, it's very high probability I'm going to be profitable tomorrow right at it open, and I have a good chance of making max profit if I were to hold on to that. I usually don't like to collect every single penny. I'm good with 50%. I'm good with 40%. I'm good with 60%. I don't try to collect 100% of premium, but you can. Sometimes you're forced to collect 100%. So let's say you did like a put spread on something. Let's say you sold a credit put spread, and the stock opened up enormously high the next day, and nobody wants to buy that from you, so you're going to have to let it expire. That's what happened to me on Uber earnings. I had a call spread that nobody wanted to buy it for me, so I had to hold it into my account until it expired worthless. So, when shorting options, you can have, kind of like buying options, you can have a lot of different goals in mind on what you want to do. You don't have to just pick one way to trade, and that's the beauty of options. There's a lot of different ways, and for people that view the market differently, there's a lot of different ways you can make a profit. I mean, there's a million ways to make a profit with options. Any ideas about playing in the money both sides for 3 weeks out for next Monday, like buy out at high a day and low a day, call out with a straddle or strangle? What I used to do a lot, Ariana, I don't really do it a lot anymore. But I used to do it was, I would, when on the spikes, let's take Tesla for instance. Let's say I wanted to put an iron condor. Like today, I put an iron condor. I just put it on all at once. I didn't care. I just put the whole iron condor at once. But what I would do sometimes what I would do is, let's say Tesla was spiking, I would sell a credit call spread and then wait for it to come down to put on the put spread. So let's say it came down here, then I would put the put spread on. So as it's moving up, the calls are getting more expensive, so I'm shorting those calls. When it goes down, the puts are getting more expensive, so I collect more premium on the puts, so that way your iron condor is worth more money than just putting it on at one time. The only issue is if you're wrong, let's say for instance, today Tesla went up here, showing a weakness. I put a credit call spread on and it kept going up to 370, then you get in some trouble. so that's the downside of that. Sure, it's a good way to collect more premium, and it is successful, but it takes a lot of management and a lot of skill to actually pull it off very consistently. And I've had some success with it, but today I knew I wasn't going to be at the computer all day, so I haven't actually traded like that in quite a while. Daniel, I aim for $20 per on the money spreads, just small gains. Yeah, I mean, once you're good at selling premium, all you can do is just scale up the contract. Same as buying premium. If you're good at buying premium, you could scale up the contracts. Start small, scale up the contracts. J Rob. So Home Depot, I've been eyeing. I've made I think around 250 on Home Depot this week. Nothing crazy, but so I was watching this. I was actually going. I didn't. The thing is, I've had like 4 back-to-back winning trades in Home Depot, and you don't want to do another trade and then give back those gains, right? So essentially, I stayed out today, even though it broke. It did what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to break 220, and it did. So, we'll see. I think I'll get back into Home Depot next week. We'll see if it comes back to. I'm gonna see what happens down here in like the 215 area. Kind of. So you don't trade for a living, just another income. Yeah. So I have multiple streams of income. What do I think? What do I think about the TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab merger? Honestly, I don't like it. I don't. I mean, I like TD Ameritrade. I like Thinkorswim. I like the platform. I do understand it, but I don't think we need conglomerates. I think right now with the brokerage wars and everything that's going on, the consumer is winning. But once everything's pulled together, let's say Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade combine, and then some more combine with some other people, and these people are managing a majority of the wealth, they're going to have a lot of control, where right now there's a lot of competition and it's good. I like, as an entrepreneur, I like more competition because then the consumer wins on pricing and features. When things merge that are huge, it tends to slow things down. It tends to slow innovation down. They care more about themselves versus the customer. Versus when you have a lot of competition, you're looking at, oh, how can I edge out so-and-so so that way I can gain more of their customers, so that when you do that, we win with price, we win with features, we win with ingenuity. When all that stuff comes together and they don't care about that stuff, the consumer loses. And then we have no choice but to go with them because they've already, they control the majority of the trading market. So, no, like a straddle, but with 2 separate trade, but same expiration for a higher return. I'm trying to understand any ideas about playing in the money both sides for 3 weeks out. Yeah, I don't typically do like in the money strangles or straddles. I just don't. I liked when I do a straddle. A strangle. I don't usually do straddles. When I do a strangle, I like to do a bearish strangle or a bullish strangle. I like to skew it because you'll make a lot more money. The creator hated it because TOS was his baby. Well, he shouldn't have sold it for the $700 million that he did, Keith. I'm sure he's crying in his silk pillows tonight. Let's just say I sold out Target and HD way too early. Yeah, Target really moved up. Now that there's no resistance, it just kept going. However, today was a consolidation day. Yesterday was the real runner. You could have even bought calls at open and been fine. Yesterday, today, not so much. Today it only moved a very little. So, which is healthy. When you have charts like this, you want it to consolidate. You want it to slow down. You don't want this to rip to forever. Because you look at charts like Beyond or some of the stocks where it just ripped up and then gave it all back and then some. If you're looking at big ones today also were CGC. CGC, what I'm looking at for right now is to get above 2250. It's been having, even with the Drake news, it's been having an issue around 2150. Even though you saw today, even at 2150 today, it got cut down. And then when we had the Drake news back in November 8th, 2170, 2180 area got cut down too. And then earnings just like destroyed it. Yeah, Ariana, I think that they're gonna get eaten if you trade it like that. Trevor, I wonder if Charles Schwab TD were to add Bitcoin trading to their platform, would cause cryptos to pop. Yeah, I mean, crypto is really taking a hit. I mean, what is it right now? Do they even have? Okay, they still have Bitcoin futures. So yeah, Bitcoin popped to 10,000 back in October, but since then it's just been slowly bleeding. But now it's been accelerating. What's going to be interesting here, if it goes below 7,300, what's going to happen? Is this going to go back down to 3,000? So we'll see. So far not going. Right now there's not a huge adoption, and also the big boys are not too thrilled with how the Bitcoin futures. No one's trading them. I mean, volume. Look at this volume. It's terrible. I mean, the volume on the contracts today was 5,000. 5,000 Bitcoin future contracts were traded today, which is like nothing for these people. They don't care about this. They probably would want to get rid of Bitcoin futures. And then I think for them to pony up, when the cost for trading is coming down, for them to pony up for servers to store crypto, for the security, for cold storage, for all that, it's going to be costs that are going to be added to their bottom line that necessarily the customer doesn't really want or need right now. So I don't see it happening. I mean, if it does, it's going to be crazy. I think before that you need somebody like a Bank of America or Chase, JP Morgan to add, like, for your checking account, you should have a Bitcoin wallet within your Bank of America account. You have your checking account, you have your savings account, you have your money market account, you have a 401k account, whatever you have with Bank of America. Oh, you also have your Bitcoin wallet, your Litecoin wallet, whatever you have in there. I think that they would be more likely to support it if the banks were supporting it, but getting the banks to support crypto in that way, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, it might happen if there's enough demand and people want it and it adds value, but right now it's tough. Are spreads the most consistent in terms of staying in the green? There's a time and a place for strangles. There's a time and a place for spreads. Like right now, I'm trading like kind of a handful. I mean, I have debit spreads right now. I have an iron condor, which is a credit. I have strangles, which I bought. So there's not like a one strategy for anything. You have to kind of go with what fits what the stock is doing, also with what fits with the market. You can't it's not a one size fit all, one strategy. If you do one strategy all the time, it may work out for a while, but then when the market shifts, that strategy starts going against you. So then you have to change your strategy. So it's not a one size fits all. House bill yesterday decriminalized MJ. Nice. Do you think Teva will pull back to $9? J-Rob, I hope not. I have $11 calls for next week on Teva. Still holding above 10, which is good for me. If it dips below 10, I mean, we're probably going to have to cut losses. But right now, to me, it looks like if it's holding above 10, to me, it looks like it's holding to push up for a higher move. However, it breaks below 10, we're going to be in some trouble. It tried. I mean, it hit $10.09 yesterday. And then the day before that hit like $10.03, but it popped up. So right now, I mean, I don't have a big position on it, so we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens, but I hope not. Alpha Kenny body? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So do you? Now that we've been in it, do you guys like? I did a live stream during Power Hour yesterday. Do you guys like it after market close or during Power Hour? I find that maybe during Power Hour, people are trying to concentrate on their positions and trying to plan out, and they don't want me talking over what they're doing. You know, or maybe I'll do Power Hour once a week. Maybe I'll do Power Hour once a week. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Trying to see what you guys want. King Jacob, I didn't miss you. McDonald's, I'll look at that. Wonder what the Winklevoss twins are thinking when they could have sold at 20K. Winklevoss twins, I mean, you know, they'll probably just sue somebody to get their money back. Yeah, wow. McDonald's, I've been looking at McDonald's. I guess we should have shorted it at 195. I traded it, was it last week or the week before? I made some money. When it dropped a lot, when it pushed back up to 195, we made some money, but I guess we should have been looking. It looks like it's been looking like, because it was a pretty boring stock to trade, but it's looking like it's that has changed. Yeah, looking choppy. I like it. If it can kind of come back down, you know, I'm not too excited if it pings between 192 and 195. Not too excited about that. But if it can break below 190, I'll look into that. Or if it could break above 195, that'd be fun too. I like the live stream from 3 to 4. It is more of it helps me get that little hint before the end of trading. Get it? I like both what you could do last 30 minutes of power than 30 minutes after market. Not a bad idea. Kind of straddling the close. Yeah, that would be good. Maybe on a Friday to recap the week, or maybe when you make big wins. Connor straddles on Tesla. You know, Tesla, if you're looking at, let's say, long term, you know, this is still pretty bullish. However, I don't know what it's going to take for it to break above 360. I think that we need to wait for the event to happen tomorrow to get a bigger picture of what's happening. I think eventually Tesla's going to settle down and just kind of chill for a while. Maybe ping between 340 and 360 before the next earnings, before it tries to make its next move. Because, I mean, it just made a massive move. But at 380 is a long-term resistance for Tesla. 380 is long-term resistance, so you just have to be careful of that. I mean, it's 354, so we do have some room here, but it hasn't been too strong lately. Like right now, a straddle would definitely kill you. The way it's moving, like pinging between 350 and 360, the straddle is not gonna be good for you. Now, if you wanted to do like a strangle when it pushes or when it drops, I mean that might be better. But a straddle I think is tough to make money on Tesla when it's moving only like $10 at a time. You know, you want Tesla to move that $30-$40 that week to make money on a straddle. Jacob, I do believe HD. We did cover HD earlier. I do think HD is going to break down 215 at 215 area. I think will be interesting to see if we can drop lower. Trevor says 30 minutes after break. If you guys hit the like button, I definitely appreciate it. It really helps me out with YouTube. They say, hey, go check this out. Check out this guy. I don't know why, but they use likes in that way. Yeah, the premium on Tesla for both ways is so expensive right now. Yeah, and it was more expensive today because of the event that's happening tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So after tonight, you should be able to get some cheaper premium once the dust settles, kind of figure out what's going to go on. Depending on, I mean, the thing is that I'm looking at for the Tesla event in the coming days. So after this event, they do the huge unveiling. I don't think it's going to move the stock that much, but what could be moving the stock is how many people reserve that vehicle. When's that vehicle going to come out? If they say this vehicle comes out like 2023, I mean, just forget about it. You know. But if they're like, hey, this car comes out in 2020, then maybe it's time to take it serious. But the one thing that Tesla has faced backlash in the past is having long reservation time. So they miss a lot of customers because, yes, you'll get people to reserve it that want it, but people that are shopping for a car right now need a car right now. So like if I need to go buy, like, let's say my truck breaks down, I want to go buy another truck, I'm going to go be looking at, Toyota, Ford, GM, or whoever. And if I'm on the Tesla reservation list already, I'm going to have to cancel my order and go with a competitor if I need to get a car right now, or if I wanted to get that truck right now. So I think that's the biggest issue for Tesla, is meeting that demand in a reasonable amount of time. They've always had this problem, but if they can get the rollout right for this, I mean, they'll probably sell a lot of them. But their biggest issue in the past has been actually rolling out the vehicles in a timely fashion and not having any setbacks. I mean, with the Model 3, took forever for the Model 3 to come out. I mean, they're having problems in the factory. People were stealing plans. There were fires in the factories. I mean, it was a problem. But the Model 3 is here. But how many people canceled reservations because they had to wait so long? So, I mean, you can go get, but the nice thing is now you can go get a Model 3. You can get if you go to Tesla's website, you can get a used one. You can get a used Model S. You can get used cars off there, like right now, if you want to. So that's the good thing. Obviously, with a brand new car, there's no used one. So, anyways, guys, I'm about to sign off. Any last things you want to look at before we go? Do you think F rips if no hype? I don't think F's gonna do anything. I mean, only thing Ford is good at is going down, and it's doing that very well. But I don't think. I mean, Ford didn't move on when they revealed their big Mustang Mach-E, and it's going to be available next year in 2020. I think, was it summertime or spring? FL. Foot Locker, if it could break 40, it would be interesting. I think if it could break 40 down in here, otherwise it could just, as you can see, it could just sit here at 40 for a long time. I think we missed it when it broke out of range. You could have traded the breakout, or when it dropped back into range. Now it's back into range, so we gotta kind of wait for the next breakout on Foot Locker. Nike, I haven't traded this in a little while, but it's probably been 3 weeks since I've traded Nike. But yeah, I mean, it's making lower highs here. It could be a good short. So high up here, now a lower high here. Let's see if it comes back down to 90. It did settle in 90 here. Billy, thoughts on HD? I don't know if you're here. Billy, are you in the? I see Billy's in the Discord. I don't know if he's in the YouTube or not. He's in the Discord. But I covered HD earlier. I think, Billy, HD, 215. If it breaks, we're going lower. Could bounce at 215, though. Do you think Square might spike up? Yeah, dude. I do have a strangle on Square right now. I have the 68 calls and the 65 puts. I'm thinking that it's coiling up. It's gonna push up to 70. Is my goal here. Do earnings tomorrow? I don't really think earnings season is pretty wrapped up. Let's see. This is all screwed up. Earnings. Yeah, I mean, earnings for tomorrow. I mean, things are not. I mean, Foot Locker's tomorrow, so I guess we could see about that. I mean, not looking good. Not looking good for notable companies reporting earnings. I mean, earnings season's like done. So, anyways, this was a good stream. Had a lot of fun. If you guys are interested, hit up our Discord. Come talk with us in there. Hit up our Facebook. We're here. Stay safe. Stay green. It's us versus herd.